All right, Jed's, yeah. Taking the TU out. So this is a 2015 Suzuki TU250X. It's like riding a bicycle with an engine. And I think that's why I like it so much. True, it's not the most powerful thing on the frickin' out there, but you know, it doesn't need to be. It's a real true homage of what a motorcycle really is, and it's just about two-wheel transport, getting you from point A to point B. It doesn't matter if you're gonna go, you know, 100-something miles an hour. Trust me, like, it's fun. I love it. Humbling to be on a little machine and really just ring it out. A little teeny tiny bike with a tiny front wheel. Ooh, that's sandy. I can feel it under my tire. There's a big old, you can see the line right in the middle of the road there. That's all sand. So I had to do the MSF course a couple of years ago because, believe it or not, I got nailed for speeding. And I actually wasn't really trying to go, well, I was speeding. I was taking my beaking down through Virginia with some friends on their FC6s. Anyways, long story short, I had to do the MSF course, and I had to have a certain amount of hours, required hours, to like guarantee that I wouldn't get the, you know, reckless driving. And, so to get the required hours, I had to do the BRC, which is the beginner's riding course. Actually, I really enjoy beginner's courses because you get to beat the hell out of a motorcycle that's not yours, and then you end up buying a motorcycle that's yours, and you keep beating the hell out of it. And so I was taking TU250X because I wanted to try it, and I fell in love with it. It was it was an 09 because it was the fast red, and it was probably my favorite of them all. And it was just a great little bike, and it was just a fun little machine, and that's why I fell right in love with them. And I fell right in love with this one, and that's why I bought it. I actually, that year, I didn't buy it that year, but I was really wanting one, and so I ended up getting a Honda VTX 1800 for like $1,300. It was like a ridiculous deal. So I ended up getting the VTX 1800, tried making some kind of cafe bobber out of it, hated it, almost killed myself on it. So every time I sold the VTX, I traded the VTX and I got a GSXR 750, it was 96, I believe, or 97, and it was a decent bike. It wasn't a great bike, but anyways, I got $500 on that trade. So I took the $500, traded in, got the GSXR. Then the GSXR, I was like, not for me, and I traded it for the Hyosung GT250. Now, the kid that wanted the GSXR, he like wanted the GSXR, and so I told him, I'm like, look, man, this is a GSXR, you got a Hyosung GT, I gotta take some money on this. And he's like, oh, no, I really know, I understand these GTs, they don't hold value worth of junk, and da-da-da-da-da. Needless to say, I haggled out a deal. He gave me $1,000 cash, plus the Hyosung GT250. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that GSXR 750 was a mint bike. It was in really good shape. And so I made $1,000. And so I had $1,500 from the trades, plus the $1,300 invested. So, and I had this GT. So I went to the dealer with $1,500 in cash in hand, and I said, hey, I like that TU250. I'll give you $1,500 cash right now with this Hyosung, and we got a deal. Ta-da! So I invested $1,300, or more like $1,200. It was $1,300 beginning of the season on a VTX, and I walked away with at the end of the season with a brand new TU250X, and that's how I bought my TU250X. Hello, dogs. I'm just going the back way to get gas. I try to stay off Route 7 with this thing. It's just, it's no fun on the big highways with a TU. It's just no fun. So, yeah, that's the story of the TU, and then I joined the TU forum, and then I met Scotty on Amen Moto on the TU250 forum, and that is a kind of a funny story, because now Scotty joined the TU forum, and I'm gonna not be an asshole, but I'm gonna be a total asshole, and I'm gonna say that I just, like, when I first met him, I kind of was like, who is this guy? Ooh, hello, why don't you get on your side of the road? Yeah. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, he's talking about doing all these trips and, you know, all this jazz, and, you know, he's like telling, you know, doing these he's doing this blog. Like, I think he was just blogging at this point. He was like talking about his adventures, and, you know, I was like, this Amen Moto guy, you know, like, I'm just like me. Of course, at this point, not established at all in the social media realm. I'm just a total jackass on all the forums. I was kind of just the nemesis, I guess you could say. I will continue this story once I finish getting fuel. All right. So, I'm on the forum, and I meet Scotty, and I just kind of follow him. You know, we kind of, I would call it a mutual, you know, understanding. I never really, like, I sometimes troll people. I never trolled him. I don't think I trolled him. If I trolled you, Scotty, I'm sorry. And, you know, I kind of just follow him. He's just like this interesting guy, and he was kind of writing blogs. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to just openly, honestly say it. I can't stand reading blogs. Like, don't get me wrong, like, there are some great stories, and once I've gathered enough attention it required to read one, they're great, but I just can't do it, dude. So, anyways, and then he started posting videos, and I was just kind of like, ugh. Now he's posting videos, you know, like, what's he trying to prove here? And then I watched it, and I remember the episode. It was the one where he's, like, driving through a hurricane or something, and I'm just going, that motherfucker is one badass guy. And I gotta tell you, to take a bike like this little 250, and just really just get after the damn thing and just ride through the rain for miles at a time, you know, tens, hundreds of miles at a time, like, he's insane. And I liked him instantly. So that's how I kind of met the Scotty character, the old Amen Moto Scotty. He's good cat, and you should definitely check out Amen Moto. They're located right on my screen there. It runs so good. Such a cute little bike. So I'm just taking the back way home. I'm gonna go back the backside of Lake Dunmore, take some little picturesque pictures and all that jazz. The good thing, cooling about this bike is it's a looker. Like, a lot of people, like, look at it, they get reminiscent. Oh my god, it's so great. It's people are like, oh, I've had a bike like that. I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, oh, back in the 70s I had that bike. No, you didn't. Oh, what's the gas mix on that? 87 regular. No, the gas oil. No, she's 4-stroke. Fuel injected, actually. Well, right now it is. Yeah, it's dirty roads. There's a lot of dirt on the roads. So why I like this bike so much, too. I mean, it's clearly very much still, as much as I hate to admit it, it's still winter here. So, having a bike like this in your herd definitely helps get your season jump started. You know, definitely helps. Let's see here. Is the boat launch plowed? It is. We'll just pull in here, take a little. Oof. That's all ice. Okay. Come on, little TU, little TU. See all that water? So in the night, if I were to ride in, all that water would be glare ice. There's just, I mean, there's a lot of sand and salt on the roads, but there's a lot of water melt right now. So look, that little black mark, that's me. So much dirt on the road right now. This is the backside of Dunmore. There's a lot of snow still on the road. Oh, look at that. That's so freaking beautiful. This is why I live in Vermont, right here. It's like, look at this. This is like, this is it right here. This is why I live, where I live. It's gorgeous. So I usually ride by myself, and then I went down to Florida this season, and I kind of felt like a jerk because I was not riding so great with a group of people. And I can understand, like, ow, that hurt. That was the first time I've actually ridden this season. I mean, really. I didn't ride for months beforehand, you know, not really. I rode in January, I did 200 miles in a day, and that was all I really did in January, and that was all I really did until I went down to Florida. And I'm riding this machine that I absolutely just don't like to ride. And I'm gonna say it, like, my XR 1200 is just, it is just not that great of a bike. Like, it's great, it's a nice machine. I enjoy riding it. It has its unique personality, but it's definitely not a machine that I want to, a lot of loose stone right here. It's definitely not a machine that I want to put big miles on, not especially after Florida. And I'm really glad I went down to Florida this year because I was planning on just riding that XR, and with the issues I was having, I can't imagine if I made a trek out to Ohio or Indiana or Tennessee, you know, or wherever I decide to go this year. And I really intend on going far out, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to risk that on that machine. I'll ride my Bandit 1200 on stuff like that. So I mean, I ride by myself. I'm a solo cat. I call myself a lone wolf. You know, if that makes sense. You know, I'm just kind of a nomad. I just kind of have my own group and myself. Which way are you going? All right, you want to use your directional, bud. Don't stop. Yeah, that's cool. 'Tis the season. Look at them. Look at them. Just driving off the road. I had a feeling they were going to stop. I'm not worried about it. Whatever. They're probably old. I can tell. Oh, I have a hard time driving. Oh. I love this little bike. It's just so fucking cute. This will just be this is what it's designed for. It's just me to go out and blast, have fun in the dirt, have fun in the preseason and the late season when there's salt sand on the roads, and I don't want to just risk it on a bigger bike. And that's the thing, it's like you can get overwhelmed with the bigger machines. You just get in trouble so quick on these sandy, salty roads. What I'm going to do with this little duff, or what I'm going to do for this season, and that's basically it, is I got the Bandit 1200, and I'll be riding that mainly as my primary steed, which is fine. It's a great machine. It's fast as hell, and it does what I need it to do. So, I mean, you can't really complain. So anyways, I'm going to sign off. coming into the jet zone. So yeah, you guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to Jet's Moto if you really like this kind of stuff. You know, if you don't, then you don't. It's fine. Just, you know, like, dislike, that's fine. I'm used to it. It's no problem. I'm going to keep riding. I'm going to keep recording my riding. So for those who are actually interested and tune in, I really appreciate it. Stay safe out there. Best.